The silence in Earth's Central Command was broken by the sharp, urgent tone of the incoming message. Captain Mira Khan stood rigid, eyes fixed on the glowing screen as the symbol of the Galactic Council appeared, casting an eerie blue light. Across the room, this was not just any transmission, it was an ultimatum, clear and unforgiving. The Galactic Council demanded Earth's immediate surrender. No negotiations, no delays. Earth had to submit to their authority or face total annihilation. Mira's heart pounded as she listened to the cold, mechanical voice outlining the terms. The Council, a coalition of the galaxy's most powerful species, had judged humanity dangerous and reckless. They feared Earth's growing strength and independence. To maintain order and peace in the galaxy, they said, Earth must bow down and cease all military developments. The message ended with a warning: failure to comply would bring swift and merciless retaliation. Across the command center, the tension was palpable. Officers exchanged worried glances. The news spread quickly. This ultimatum was not just a threat, it was a declaration of war disguised as a demand. Humanity was being pushed into a corner, told to surrender without a fight, yet deep inside, Mira, a fire burned bright. Surrender was not an option. Earth had survived wars, plagues, and countless threats. Now, facing the might of the Galactic Council, humanity would stand tall or fall trying. Outside the walls of the command center, cities bustled as if unaware of the looming crisis. But beneath the surface, governments and military leaders convened in secret meetings. Strategies were drafted, alliances considered, and weapons sharpened. Public announcements calmed the masses, assuring peace and safety, but the truth was, far more urgent and dangerous. Mira was appointed to lead a special task force. Her orders were clear: prepare Earth for what was coming. She assembled a team of the best mind scientists, strategists, and soldiers, each driven by the same goal: to defend their home at any cost. The task was daunting. The Galactic Council was vast and powerful, their fleets unmatched. But Earth had something the Council did not fully understand: humanity's unyielding spirit. As days passed, the pressure mounted. Council envoys arrived, demanding access to Earth's defenses and military secrets. Every request was met with polite refusal or clever delay. Mira's team worked around the clock, retrofitting warships, enhancing shields, and developing new weapons hidden deep underground. The city's bright lights masked the dark preparations underway. Rumors swirled of traitors and spies within Earth's own ranks. Agents who sympathized with the Council or feared the consequences of defiance. Security tightened, and trust became a rare commodity. Mira herself faced moments of doubt, wondering if humanity could truly unite against such an overwhelming enemy. But each time she looked at her team, their eyes shining with determination, and remembered why surrender was not an option. The Galactic Council's message was clear: surrender now or face destruction. But humanity had other plans, as the stars outside Earth's atmosphere glittered cold and distant. A new chapter was beginning, one written in courage, sacrifice, and unbreakable will. Mira stood on the command deck, looking out at the vastness of space. The countdown had begun, and Earth's fate hung in the balance. The question was no longer if they would fight, but how fiercely they would rise to defend their home. The world outside seemed calm. Beneath the surface, Earth was a hive of silent activity. While the Galactic Council's ultimatum echoed through the halls of power, Captain Mira Khan and her team were busy turning warnings into action. The order to surrender was a challenge they refused to accept. Instead, they prepared quietly, carefully, and with fierce determination to defend their planet at any cost. Hidden deep beneath the surface, in vast underground bunkers and secret shipyards, humans worked tirelessly. Engineers and scientists labored to upgrade Earth's warships, improving their speed, armor, and weapons far beyond what the Council expected. Every new missile, every reinforced shield was designed with one purpose: to keep Earth safe from destruction. The technology was a blend of human innovation and salvaged alien tech from past skirmishes. But what truly made it formidable was the spirit of the people who built it. Mira oversaw the efforts personally, moving from one facility to another, her presence a steadying force. The pressure was immense. There was no room for mistakes. Spies from the Council's agents lurked everywhere, trying to uncover Earth's secrets, but human counterintelligence was relentless. Networks of informants, encrypted communications, and double agents kept the truth hidden. The Council believed they controlled the galaxy's knowledge, underestimated Earth's resourcefulness. In the skies above, Earth's military fleet quietly increased in size. New warships, sleek and deadly, slipped into orbit under the cover of darkness. Training exercises simulated attacks and defenses, pushing human pilots and soldiers to their limits. The alliance between military branches grew stronger, built on trust and shared purpose. Despite the looming threat, camaraderie and hope flourished, but challenges were never far away. Within Earth's own ranks, rumors spread of dissent and fear. Some believed surrender was the only way to survive. Others questioned the wisdom of defying the powerful Council. Arguments erupted behind closed doors, and loyalty was tested. Captain Myra faced difficult decisions not just on the battlefield, but in uniting a divided people. Her leadership was tested by politics, doubt, the weight of thousands of lives depending on her. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Council spies made their moves. Small sabotage attempts were detected, power outages, data breaches, and mysterious accidents slowed preparations. Earth's defenses held firm, but the threat of internal collapse was real. Mira's team intensified security protocols, hunting down traitors and rooting out sabotage with unyielding resolve. Despite all, humanity's spirit never wavered. Ordinary citizens volunteered for defense roles, engineers worked extra shifts, and scientists pushed the boundaries of technology. Schools taught emergency protocols, families prepared for the worst, and leaders inspired with speeches of resilience. Earth was not just a planet, it was a home worth fighting for. As the Council's deadline approached, tensions rose to a fever pitch. The galaxy waited, watching Earth's response. Would they surrender as ordered, or rise in defiance? Captain. Mira knew the answer in her heart. The coming days would test every ounce of humanity's courage and ingenuity. Outside the planet's atmosphere, stars seemed to hold their breath. The quiet before the storm was almost over. The darkness of space was shattered by sudden flashes of light. Human warships launching a surprise attack on the Galactic Council's fleet orbiting near Earth. The Council had expected submission, but instead, they were met with fierce resistance that no one saw coming. Captain Myra Khan stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes sharp and voice steady as she coordinated the strike that would change humanity's fate forever. The attack was swift and calculated. Human pilots, trained under extreme conditions, flew through enemy lines with precision and daring. Their ships, smaller but faster and more maneuverable, struck at weak points in the Council's massive vessels. Explosions lit the void as shields. Cracked and holes were breached. It was clear Earth was not the powerless planet the Council had believed it to be. As the battle raged, Myra's mind raced through every strategy she had prepared. The Council's fleet was vast and powerful. But Earth had something more important: heart and unbreakable will. Human soldiers fought not just for survival, but for freedom, for their homes, and for the future of all humanity. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, news of Earth's bold strike spread like wildfire. Allies who had once doubted humanity's strength began to reconsider their stance. The Council's grip on the galaxy showed cracks as fear and respect for Earth grew. But the enemy was not defeated yet. The Council called for reinforcements, vowing to crush the rebellion before it could spread. Back on Earth, Mira knew the fight was far from over. The surprise attack was only the beginning, a message sent loud and clear that humanity would never bow without a fight. As the Council regrouped and planned their counterstrike, Earth prepared for the war that was now inevitable. The battle had ignited a spark across the stars, a spark of hope, defiance, and the promise that Earth had plans far beyond surrender. War had only just begun, yet the tides were already shifting in ways no one had predicted. The smoke from Earth's surprise strike still drifted in the void. A new message arrived, not from the Galactic Council, but from a hidden faction within it. This faction, long disillusioned by the Council's harsh rule, reached out secretly to Earth with an offer of alliance. Their message was clear. The Council's demand for surrender was not shared by all. Some believed humanity's courage could spark the change the galaxy desperately needed. Captain Myra Khan received the message in a secured chamber, her expression unreadable. The unexpected offer was both a blessing and a complication. Trust was a fragile thing when centuries of fear and betrayal weighed heavy on every side. Yet, with the Council's main fleet preparing for a devastating counterattack, Earth needed allies more than ever. Behind the scenes, secret meetings took place. Earth's diplomats and military leaders engaged with these new ally species who had suffered under the Council's strict rule and now saw hope in humanity's defiance. Plans were drawn for coordinated strikes, intelligence sharing, and support that could tip the scales in Earth's favor. But the alliance was not without risks. News of this betrayal within the Council spread quickly, igniting fierce conflicts among its members. The Loyalist forces viewed the rebels as traitors, and brutal clashes erupted in distant star systems. Meanwhile, spies and saboteurs tried to infiltrate Earth's ranks, desperate to destroy the fragile coalition before it could grow stronger. Captain Mir's leadership was tested like never before. She balanced diplomacy and war strategy, all while maintaining the fragile trust between humans and their new allies. The crew trained harder, technology advanced faster, and the hope of a galaxy united against tyranny grew stronger, in the midst of growing tension and looming battles. Earth prepared for the fight that would decide the fate of billions. The Alliance had given humanity a fighting chance, but the true test was yet to come. As the stars twinkled coldly above, Captain Mira stared into the darkness, ready to face whatever the future held with fierce resolve. The calm before the storm shattered as the skies above Earth, filled with the ominous silhouettes of the Galactic Council's largest fleet yet assembled. Thousands of warships, bristling with deadly weaponry, encircled the planet like a dark cloud ready to burst. Captain Myra Khan stood on the command deck, her voice steady but filled with urgency as she coordinated the final defenses and prepared her forces for the battle that would determine humanity's fate. The alliance forged in secret had strengthened Earth's defenses, but the sheer size and power of the Council's armada were overwhelming. The battle was not just for survival, it was for the very future of Earth and all who called it home. Human pilots, engineers, and soldiers fought with unmatched bravery. Fueled by the knowledge that surrender was no longer an option, energy. Shields flared as Council ships unleashed volleys of plasma and missiles. But Earth's fleet countered with precision strikes and innovative tactics born from human ingenuity. The Vroda-inspired technology integrated into Earth's ships proved invaluable, creating energy barriers and countermeasures the enemy had never seen. As explosions lit the darkness of space, Captain Myra led daring maneuvers that disrupted the enemy's formations. The bond between humans and their allies grew stronger in the heat of battle. With coordinated attacks breaking through the Council's lines, the tide began to turn, but the cost was high. Several key installations suffered damage, and brave pilots sacrificed themselves to protect their planet amidst the chaos. Mira received urgent intelligence. A covert strike team from the Council aimed to disable Earth's primary defense grid from within. With no time to lose, she assembled an elite squadron to intercept the threat, demonstrating that Earth would fight on every front, both in space and on the ground. The battle raged on, a clash of wills and technologies that tested the limits of courage and strategy. As dawn approached, the enemy fleet, battered and broken, began to retreat. Humanity's fierce resistance had sent a clear message. Earth would never surrender, but Captain Mira knew this victory was only the beginning. The galaxy was changing, and the fight for freedom was far from over. The dawn after the battle brought a fragile silence to Earth's Skiza. Silence filled with the weight of sacrifice and the hope of new beginnings. Captain Mira Khan stood on the bridge of the flagship, gazing out at the stars that had witnessed the greatest conflict the galaxy had ever seen. The Galactic Council's forces had been pushed back, their grip on Earth shattered, but the war had changed everything. The victory was not just military, it was symbolic. Humanity had proven that no matter how powerful the Council appeared, the spirit of Earth's people could not be broken. Leaders across the galaxy took notice. Some reached out with cautious respect, while others plotted in shadow, unwilling to accept a new order. The balance of power was shifting, and Earth stood at the center. With the Council weakened and fractured, a new era of diplomacy began. Captain Mira and Earth's diplomats worked tirelessly to forge alliances with former enemies and new friends alike. The galaxy was no longer a place ruled by fear and submission, but one where strength was matched by courage and unity. Earth's technology, forged in the fires of war and inspired by the diverse species who had stood beside humanity, became a beacon of progress. Scientific breakthroughs accelerated, and cultural exchanges blossomed. The people of Earth, once seen as reckless and weak, now inspired hope and respect throughout the stars. Yet Mira knew the peace was fragile. The scars of war ran deep, and new threats lurked beyond the horizon. But humanity had changed. No longer the planet to be subdued, Earth was a guardian of freedom, a symbol of defiance against tyranny. As she looked up at the vast galaxy, Captain Mira felt a profound certainty. The future was unwritten, but with unity and resolve, humanity would shape it. The story of Earth was far from over, it was only just beginning.